Today we organize the Artefact symposium on the social license to operate. The reason why we do this is because we all realize the importance of a transition to a low carbon economy, but this transition needs critical metals, and the big question is, where do we get these critical metals from? And that's why the social license to operate for primary mining but also for recycling is so important, and this is the main topic of the symposium.
We support this symposium because we want to become a climate neutral province by 2040, and we think that's a very important question that is raised today. What is the role of rare earth materials in the energy transition to become climate neutral in the end?
To move to a low carbon economy is really urgent and pressing, but I believe that companies can actually gain a lot by doing that. They can reduce costs, they can anticipate risks, they can innovate and bring new products and services to the market and improve their brand. But doing so successfully will need a lot of materials and a lot of critical materials. And so the question is, will we be fast enough and will we be resourceful enough to transition off of fossil fuel whilst using in a clever way these precious materials?
I believe one of the crucial elements in the transition towards a low-carbon economy is to make this challenge very visible and tangible for the general public by working with very accurate storytelling, smart campaigning, and working on a large local support for this transition.
75% of household waste is going to recycling, and it is important for citizens to know that their efforts can really give the difference and that primary mining can be reduced.
I think this symposium talked about a topic that is very important, the management of the natural resources. We are dealing on the global level with an over-exploitation of the natural resources, so we have to redistribute those, also for having fair share for the people, for the countries that need to grow. So that's why I think we need to think more about the economy of the sufficiency, especially in the global north.
I firmly believe in the necessity and the possibility to move towards a low fossil carbon economy. So that's the nuance I want to introduce. But that being said, the combination of creativity, of science, of social acceptance, of insight from the community, that taken together for me makes it possible, and thus let's go.
The social license to operate is seen as one of the main ways to improve the image of the mining industry and to generate local acceptance, but it's also very vague and it's not very well thought out. So I'm here to point to some challenges within the social license to operate.
In order to reach this low carbon economy, concentrated efforts are required by all stakeholders involved, by the people, by SMEs in industry, by the research society, and by the European Commission.
We need rare earth metals for renewable energy systems, for electric vehicles, and so on. They are actually not really rare. We have enough of them, but the point for me is at what cost do we want to source them? Not the financial costs, but the environmental costs. Do we take care of the people living next to these mines? Do we take care of the environment?
But when I hear some people talk, there's always this not very gloomy picture of our future. But then again, when you hear the scientists talk about the transition to a low-carbon economy, that everything is there to be put in place, with my belief in the flexibility of people to adapt, maybe we'll still manage it.
Today was very important because we need these critical elements, metals, in the near future in the transition towards renewable energy, storage and so on. So we have to think about how will we mine them in the near future.
One of the main barriers is how do we overcome this not in my backyard syndrome, and how do we involve local communities, how do we convince local communities that we need to undertake these activities. This is the only way how we can make this transition.